Men must train hard and rule because women can't handle power. I don't think you understood that. I said men must train hard and rule because women can't handle power. Right. So please don't be mistaken. These are not my words, okay? And also, don't make any false assumption. I didn't have to go down an internet rabbit hole to stumble across this shocking claim. I was simply looking for fitness advice. Yeah, I know. And between two of these gym-related videos, well, I heard a famous influencer, I don't know if you know him, he's called Andrew Tate. He's known for making these type of claims. And it's really got me wondering, when did lifting heavy weights become associated with some kind of gender war? And this truly sparked my curiosity, because what has self-help got to do with hate? So tonight together, we'll be exploring the origin of masculinism, how it is linked to emotion, and what we can do about it. Right, so first, I think we can all agree that self-help is really nice. What's wrong with wanting to bettering yourself, right? But self-help is often associated with the manosphere. What is the manosphere, you may ask? Well, the manosphere is a cluster of different online communities that all promise to help men achieve their objective of becoming alpha men. It's also interesting to note that they all share another common trait. They are all rooted in resentment of women. And this backlash online is not new at all. Sociologists Martin Blais and Francis Dupuy-Derry have found that it has been repeating over centuries every time feminism has made some kind of significant advancement. But if it's not new, you may ask yourself, who follows these ideologies, right? A study conducted on involuntary celibate, also known as incel, has found that most men who end up joining these online communities are not fueled by hate at first, but by a lack of belonging, an uncertainty, and loneliness. These online communities offer them simple explanation to some of their complex problems. For instance, incels, they believe that women in society are judging them according to some kind of characteristic on which they had no power, like their physical appearance. And these communities, well, they comfort them into this idea. Misogynists, they target the loneliness of their target audience, the misogynist influencers, they target this because, I don't know if you've realized it, but traditional manhood from, let's say, the 1960s is not really fit for modern Western society. So, with a lack of clear role models, lack of emotional awareness, and heavy social pressure, well, young boys, they become praise of these predators influencers. They'll use simple sentence. They'll look straight at the camera and tell these boys, well, the whole world is against you, simply because you were born a man. But don't worry, I'll show you how together we can win. I'm pretty sure that if I were to offer you a solution to what you believe is your problem, well, you would want to listen, right? And this sentence, the whole world is against you, it's powerful, it's striking, because it turns their vulnerability into an identity. Young men start feeling like they belong. This rhetoric is not new, just like masculinism in itself. It has been used in the 1980s here in Quebec, where anti-feminist movement, led by men obviously, believed that men were threatened by the new gain advancement of women in society. So, the manosphere, it's not inventing new fears. It is simply recycling old one to a new crowd. Now, I would have used my PowerPoint, but it doesn't work. And I just wanted to talk about how it is linked to emotions. Because the Dr. Christopher Aslip and his colleagues, they found that the success of these influencers is not the success of their well-chosen words. I may have to say that they really are charismatic, but this is not why they're successful. It's because of their strategic appeal to emotions. For instance, humor, anger, and humiliation, they'll use all of this to build a friendship through the screen with the viewer, right? And this friendship is what the researchers called affective homosocial currencies. These affective homosocial currencies, well, they're strong social bonds shared between two people of the same sex, and they are what makes the hate of women so federating. Well, I know that now you may ask yourself, but how does one end up being a misogynist in today's society? Well, it's quite simple. You know, when I'm bored, like many other, I tend to open my phone and look at different social media. I'll be swiping and swiping and swiping on a TikTok, YouTube Short, Instagram Reels. And I mean, sometimes people will be looking for advice. I don't know. I've just watched Black Panther the other day, and I found that Michael B. Jordan, he looked really good. So let's say I want to look like him, right? So I start looking for fitness advice, because who doesn't want to look good? Then I swipe through another video, and I see someone that's younger than me. Let's say he's 15 years old, and he's making more money than both of my parents reunited. So I'm asking myself, why not me? So I start looking for business advice. Then, I don't know, just like other, I may feel lonely at time. So, well, this is not what I do. This is only an example. So you may you may feel lonely at time, and you may want to have some relationship advice, right? Because who doesn't want to be loved? And yeah, and before you're aware, well, you end up in the manosphere, and you're engaging and reacting to discussions on the place of women in society. And I've just spent a couple minutes talking about the influencers. But the influencers are merely the smoke, while the algorithms are the fire, right? Dr. Christopher Aslop, him once again, has found that the algorithms were designed to make us outraged, to make us shocked. And you may ask yourself, why? So I'm going to be asking you a simple question. If you've ever done one of the following, please raise your hand and keep it up, all right? Have you ever played a violent video game? All right. Have you ever watched a trashy documentary? Have you ever watched a true crime series? And have you ever watched an horror movie? All right, so please look around and see that almost everybody in the attendance has raised its hand. But why? We know that it brings us no good, yet we keep on watching and watching and watching. And this is exactly what the algorithm wants. It wants you to spend time reacting because you're angered and looking at videos, commenting on them, so you're staying on the app. And the more time you're spending on the app, the more ads you're seeing. And the more ads you're seeing, the more money the company makes. The algorithm doesn't care about what you're consuming. It just wants you sitting behind your screen and looking at these ads to make some money, right? But this brilliant system that is an algorithm, well, it creates a tunnel straight to radicalization. Because, yes, obviously, these comments and behaviors, they do not end online. Some of the extremist misogynists who went out and created atrocious acts of violence against women, well, they all shared their engagement in manosphere online communities. And another study conducted here in Canada has found that being exposed to some of the content of the manosphere, well, it increases the acceptance of gender-based violence myths. What are these myths? Well, they're quite simple. They're things that we hear a lot, such as women exaggerate abuse or men can be victims. And, well, here my goal is not to say that the internet is causing violence, because that would be way too simple and false. But we have to keep in mind and acknowledge that some of these communities, they do normalize anger and justify violence. And I've just spent, 6 to 7 minutes rambling about how doomed we are, about how dark the future that is ahead is. But please keep in mind that to every problem, there is a solution. And sometimes the solution, it lies closer than what we think. Self-help has been rebranded to a point where the idea of self has been replaced with ego. And we know that algorithms are always going to prioritize profit over social cohesion. And the internet as a whole, it has made us more self-centered than ever. I'm pretty sure that you all know echo chambers. Everybody on the internet has and can find a community that tends to its own needs and interests. But we have to remember that these algorithms, they're not the one making choices. We, the 8 billions of human beings dwelling the surface of the globe, are the one doing it. So the next time you feel lonely, or you feel weak, so you want to get stronger, you'll have a choice to make. Are you going to be choosing the strength that can uplift others, or the one that can crush them? Think about that.